Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Tuesday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. It is February 13th. Guys, you got about 9 hours to get ready because Valentine's Day, it's coming. She's chugging around the bend, baby, and she's coming straight at your wallet. Do something great for those wonderful ladies or men in your life, and make sure that that you make it memorable this year. It's been a long year. It's been a long year for a lot of us, and a lot of them as well. Make sure that you go out, you buy those roses, you get those chocolates, you do all the good things for those wonderful people that have stolen your heart, and now you will pay for it. We have a great show for you today. Danny Bertolini stops by the program. As always, the head baseball coach of the Youngstown State University Baseball Penguins stops by in, I believe this is our fifth year of YSU baseball on YSN. We're excited to have them back. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, the Gwins look real good. But they play a real tough schedule. And earlier today, there was a list, I believe, of a handful, if not more, of the Youngstown State University Penguins that are potentially on a draft board in the major leagues. So that's worth checking out. Go to, we shared it on our Facebook page. You can go and check out any of the socials for Youngstown State University baseball and check that out as well. And a couple really big names from around here. You look at guys like Jacob Gehring from South Range, who Coach Bertolini is undoubtedly going to talk about. And you look at Ian Francis from Cardinal Mooney, who's a catcher. And these are guys that are potentially draftable, I think, this year even. So keep your eye on that. Exciting. Listen, we talked a lot about football yesterday. It is baseball seasons. The season starts on Friday. YSU will head to Texas State and open up their 2024 season. You can watch it all on ESPN Plus. And, we start our coverage in Louisville, not next week, but the week after. I believe Steve Leslie and I are going to take a jaunt down to, I still call it Louisville, like Louisville Slugger. But I'm being told and instructed it's not like Louisville here, but Louisville. Okay, so let's figure this out. You got Louisville. Welcome back. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Louisville, and Louisville. Louisville. I'm gonna go with Louisville. That's how DJ is going to pronounce it. We're gonna go with that because otherwise it's like I'm hurling into a bucket. Louisville. We're gonna go with Louisville. So we will go down to Louisville, and we will also take the trip down to the ATL, piece up A-Town down, and we will go to Georgia Tech as the mighty Penguins take on the Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech. Excited for that, and excited to pass the reins over. We will have a formal announcement very soon of the voices. Yes, there's an S on that. The voices of the Youngstown State University Penguins in the 2024 season. So excited for all of that. And without further ado, let's just get right to it. Let's get to Danny Bertolini talking about his Youngstown State Penguins this year. Had Danny on a little bit earlier because it matched both of our schedules. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the head ball coach of the YSU Baseball Penguins, Mr. Danny Bertolini. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is Coach's Corner, YSU style, and we're talking to the YSU baseball coach, one of my real good friends, dear friends in the entire world, and a guy that has really, worked very hard on this season in particular, but he's done a great job in the entire tenure. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we bring in Danny Bertolini. How are we, Coach? How we doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for the nice introduction. It's always good to be back, man. This is a great time of year. It means that the season's starting.
Season's right around the corner. Literally, as we talk, you guys are preparing for the season to begin this weekend. You open up. I mean, let's talk about last year first. Then we'll talk about this year. Last year, the tail of the season. You can put a bunch of different ties on it, but really it came down to injuries. You guys were devastated by injuries, but this season looks like you're a lot healthier. What things have you done from last year to this year in the weight room, in the classroom, otherwise, that have put you guys in a real opportunity to make this year your year?
Yeah, like sometimes some things are unfortunate. We had some freak injuries last year. Whether it was, it wasn't really one of the same. There were some arm injuries from our pitching staff, which made it challenging, and then bumps and bruises throughout the season. But I think we've done a good job. We Drew Davies is our new strength coach, and I think he's done an awesome job in the weight room and getting our guys prepared, whether it's mobility and stretching to strength to speed training. So I feel really good with where we're at. From a health standpoint, we had a few of those guys that were injured starting to make their way back. Brandon Mikos should be cleared to go for next weekend, which will be a big boost for our team, as well as Mikey Rodriguez had off-season surgery, so he should be ready to go in March. And Mitchell Seymour too. He had Tommy John last year as well, and for him to be back ready to play, pitch at some point here in March. So really from a health standpoint, knock on wood, it's been good, and these guys are really bought into what we're trying to do, and I really enjoy being around this group. It's a really great group of guys that have really bought into what's going to make this season special, and hard work and playing the game the right way. And so can't wait to get out on Friday night and get a chance to go compete.
Now, obviously, from a standpoint of preparing yourself to compete, you're dealing with a little bit more of a mild winter this year. Have you guys been able to get outside, stretch out the arms a little bit outside of the watts, or is it something where these are planned situations? You play in the watts as much as you humanly possible, and then kind of go from there. I mean, a lot of the stuff that you do, you are a strategist. You're a guy that is planned till 2027 at this point, I'm sure. So talk to me about, have you guys been able to kind of get out in the elements a little bit?
Oh yeah, for sure. We were at Eastwood twice last week, getting a chance to scrimmage on the field. We played probably 10, 12 innings out there. Got to take infield, outfield, take BP on the field, so the guys were able to watch, see the ball fly. We love the having an opportunity to play in the watts, but there's just something different about being outside, being able to see the baseball. We've been out on Cafaro Field, the turf facility here across the street from the watts, that being able to get ground ball, fly ball communication, working on double cuts, working on balls in the gaps. Like it's been a huge benefit, having this weather the way it is. And really, I mean, that's for the first time in my 8 years we've been able to get on our field in February. So hopefully it's a sign of things to come with the weather around here. Hopefully we'll be able to have a really mild spring and be able to be outside a lot, and looking forward to, being a little bit even warmer this weekend down in Texas.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you opened the season against Texas State. I mean, you got 3 with them, right?
Yep.
So when you're heading down south like that, I mean, I've been able, which I'm very fortunate. Like you guys, you're kind of loose with, you keep things buttoned up, but you're loose with the travel stuff. I know a couple of years ago, you had some of the guys in cowboy hats and cowboy boots and stuff like that. These are really great opportunities for team bonding, especially early on. And you've got a nice group of mix between upperclassmen and newcomers. What things do you most look forward to on these trips with your guys, especially early on in the ball season?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's part of why we schedule the way we do. Some of our guys might be the first time they've ever been on an airplane, and for them to be able to experience, the country, we're going to play all over the place here in their 4 years, and for them to be able to get on that airplane and travel and go see, what Texas is like, what Austin's like, it's pretty special for them. But anytime you're going to be around the guys a lot and in the hotels, and it's good for bonding, for them to get to know one another. And because we have 40 players on the team, and for them to be able to know each and every one of them is tough. But when you're kind of forced into it, being around each other, being in a hotel room with another guy, like it's a good opportunity for them to bond and learn. And we're going to be doing a lot of it here the first 4 weekends. So it's great. It's great for them to get that experience.
I mean, your expectations are always high. Everybody at YSU, their expectations are high for this baseball team. For you, does it change at all? I mean, do your expectations even go up further with some of the guys that you're bringing back and some of the guys that you've brought in this year?
Well, we talk. I talk with our group all the time. Like, the only expectations I have for this group is that we're gonna play hard. We're gonna get to the next pitch, right? And we're gonna be great spotters for one another. We're gonna be great, we're gonna be enthusiastic encouragers for each other. And if we do those things, we're able to hold each other accountable. Like the results will take care of themselves. So we've really focused on, limiting, outside expectations, and really just focusing on doing things the right way, playing the game the right way. And if we can do those things, the sky's the limit for this group. But staying focused on what we can control, that's our preparation. If we can stay consistent in preparing the right way every day, the talent is there for us for this group to be really special.
Who are some of the names that we should identify and know that are either going to be in the lineup the majority of the days, or guys that we're going to want to know that are on the bump, pretty much stability wise throughout the season that we're going to need some dubs out of?
Yeah. From an offensive perspective, obviously Trey Law was an all-region guy last year, all-conference player. At shortstop, fifth-year senior for us. R.J. Sherwood in right field, been a staple, played really great at the end of the season last year and has had an awesome fall and winter for us. So looking for big things out of him. Matt Thompson was the freshman of the year in the conference last year. Going to move over and play third base this year. Ian Francis, another guy that got a lot of experience, played a lot for us in his junior year. Going to catch for us. I think couple of the new guys, Derek Tarpley Jr., freshman, really talented player. Looking forward to kind of seeing him get his first opportunities this weekend. Brett Stanley's another guy transfer in from junior college, and he's going to play in the middle infield for us. Eli Brown's going to see a lot of time in the outfield for us. He's done a great job from the fall and in the winter time. He's done a great job. Teddy Ruffner's a transfer that's going to get a lot of playing time as a probably DH left field, type role for us. So, on the bump, it's going to start. I think I've told other people, like, this is probably our deepest pitching staff and most talented pitching staff we've had. We've had some really good top end guys. We've had some great pitchers over the years. Two back-to-back year Horizon League pitchers of the year with Colin Floyd and Matt Broski. But I think Jake Gehring's gonna be the guy that's gonna get us going on Friday night. He's been incredible since he's been here. After transferring back from Ohio State, he's done a great job, not just on the mound, but as a leader, as an influencer on our pitching staff. He does things the right way. He's really helped those guys a lot. Braden Gebhardt's another guy, a lot of experience last year, all freshman team. Casey Marshallwitz, probably the most experienced pitcher on our staff. Nick Perez, also another senior, a ton of experience there. We have a lot of good freshman arms, some new guys. I think Chris Domke has been as good as anybody in the back end electric stuff. Probably, kind of fit into that 7th, 8th, 9th inning role. Gavin Wilms from Salem has been really good. Breaking ball, he got a cut fastball. It's been really, really good. Could see him in the 6th, 7th, 8th inning ish kind of deal there. That's the exciting part, though. We have a lot of good arms. Sloan Ulrich, Lane Rhodes. As Mikos gets healthy, Aiden English. I mean, we have a lot of guys that can really help us and impact us. And this is by far the best, deepest as far as that goes. We have 6, 7 guys that you could throw in the starting rotation and you probably won't skip a beat. And we haven't had that luxury in a while. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those pieces fit, on the offensive side, kind of how those pieces fit. We have some good, bench guys, spot starting guys that can help us. Chase Franken's going to be a dual player for us, whether it's pitch or hit. He's been doing really well at both of those. Joe Suarez is going to be another guy that's going to get in there in the mix. Trey Pancake. So I'm excited to see how this all plays out. But from a talent perspective, we're in a good spot.
I'm always impressed with how you do locally and from your recruitment standpoint. Danny, from my perspective, this by far is the most local team here, regional, that you've ever been able to bring in under the Y. So when you're looking at this, I mean, is it the fact that you're paying more attention, you and your staff are paying more attention to the I guess the rise of the game here locally in baseball, or is it just a matter of right guys at the right time that are here locally that are looking to go to YSU?
I think it's a little bit of a combination of both. Like I've said this many times, this area is a baseball town. Over the years, we've had more major leaguers and professional baseball players than in any other sport professionally. So, there's always been great talent here. And if you look over the years, some of the best players that have ever come through here have been from Youngstown or the surrounding areas. So it's always, you look back to my original press conference, that's something that's always been a passion of mine is, trying to get the best players in the area to stay here. And I think this year we've done a great job. Our staff has done a great job of, finding those players and keeping them here. And with the portal and the way things are going, it's provided us a little bit better opportunity to get probably some of those high school players from the area, as well as, getting some transfer guys to come back and be able to play here. So I think in all the sports, the best players in the best sport is baseball here in the Mahoning Valley. So, I don't think it's any surprise that we're able to have so many local players on our team.
What's one thing that you want people to know about this team? And what are you going to hang your hat on this year? I mean, you talked about your depth. I think that's incredible from that skill position. I mean, you got skill all over the field, in the bullpen, in the classroom as well. I mean, you guys are killing it on seemingly every single level. But what's the one thing that you want people to know heading into this year that YSU baseball is going to do as well, if not better than anybody else?
I mean, I just, from the offensive side, we're relentless, man. It's fun to watch. I enjoy practices. They're relentless on the base pass. I mean, and that's the biggest difference probably from a year ago to now. We're built different. Last year was we were a little bit one dimensional for most of the year, and by a little bit I mean a lot. It was a lot of strikeouts, a lot of power, hit a lot of home runs, hit a lot of doubles. But we played for the big inning. Where this group, we're able to do things differently. Like we can still play for the big inning. We have guys that can drive the baseball and hit home runs, but top to bottom, it's electric watching these guys run the bases and being able to bunt, hit and run, and double steal. And so, I think that's going to be, and they're completely bought in. They do it right all the time. I don't ever have to say a word. Like the ball's put in play and they're going 110 miles an hour. And that's where we want to be. And that's how we want to play. And from a pitching side, it's like, hey, getting the ball, working fast, throwing strikes and letting our defense play behind them. And so we just have a group of guys that I think are bought in and that's, we want to make Youngstown proud. And I think you watch the way we play, it's going to be a gritty, hard-nosed, do it the right way kind of group. And that's exciting.
The one thing that you and I kind of always talk about off the record is, the state of everybody wanting to be a D1 athlete and wanting to get recruited out of high school. From your perspective, I mean, you were a local guy that played at the next level, now coaching at the next level. If you were just telling somebody off the street that, was asking you a general question, like, I don't know, me, what are some of the things that you look at personally as a coach that stand out to you when student athletes are looking to get recruited and that maybe mom and dad don't know about, maybe the student athlete doesn't know about, that they're not paying attention to in high school, that you really keep a keen eye on at the managerial level or at the coaching level?
Well, it's first and foremost starts in the classroom. like, we always do well academically. We had a 3.5 cumulative GPA for our guys in the fall semester. And people ask me all the time, like, how do you guys do it? Well, we recruit players that are good students. That's important to us. One, it shows that they're willing to, they want to be excellent at everything that they do. And if they're willing to put the work in the classroom, they're going to be willing to put the work in at baseball. Yeah, I'd say the second most important thing is really how you play the game. Like, are you a good teammate? Do you run everything out? Are you running on and off the field? Because there's a lot of guys that are real close, as far as ability goes. And if we're recruiting one or the other, we may only get a chance to see you play once or twice, or you might not know we're there. Like, how you play the game and how you interact with your teammates is going to be probably the deciding factor on what, which players we take and which we don't. And do we always get it right? Probably not. We like to think more times than not we do, but those things can be the deciding factor. So, be good in the classroom and play the game the right way. And that's going to get you a long way away. That's going to get you a long way in the game. And if you can do those things.
I think one of my favorite things as we look at this week, especially tomorrow, Valentine's Day, my friend, there's your friendly warning for you and your lovely wife, and your children, of course. Mm-hmm. But my question to you is, with this beautiful family that you have, who are your Valentines? Part one. And what was the best line that you put on your wife that sealed the deal, that got you an unbelievable family out of the deal?
Well, my Valentine's are obviously starts with my wife. So
good answer.
We're going to do a little Valentine's Day dinner tonight with the kids. And then my children, my beautiful children, Eloise, Hawkins, and Odelia. And we got another one on the way in July. So looking forward to extending that family, a little baby boy coming in July. So we'll just add to the chaos that already is there. We're excited for that. And I guess the best pickup line I had was, hey.
That was your pickup line, was hey?
That's how I got it started.
Listen, with being as good at sports and at life as you are, my friend, that does not surprise me at all.
Ask my wife.
Hey, you know what my pickup line was for my wife?
No.
I'm on the baseball team. That was it. That was it. Sealed the deal. I'm on the Division III Westminster baseball team. You're lucky to know me.
That's it. That's lucky day. Yeah, she wouldn't have fallen for any cheesy pickup lines. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So
no, she's smarter than both of us combined, man. Yep. Coach, cannot wait to get this season started. Like I said, your home is going to be on YSN yet again. Can't thank you enough. You've been such an integral part of not only the growth of this entire area in baseball, but especially YSN, and bringing Penguin fans right to ysnlive.com. Cannot thank you enough for being there through all of this, and cannot wait to get this season started. Thanks so much for your time. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and I can't wait to hear some of those calls, later in the year if you're going to make a trip with us. We don't have any Blazer bombs anymore, but
no, hey, I'm sure I'll find a couple. We know these kids pretty well because you keep plucking them out of the YSN universe, and we appreciate that. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions. WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
The feeling when my hands are on the piano, it's become comforting. It's somewhere that I can express myself. I go to Youngstown State University and my passion is playing music. YSU is allowing me to take what I love and turn it into a career and do it every single day of my life. I'm Alyssa and I'm Ysn proud.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats because there's people in those numbers. And I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% saved, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
There it is. Letting the old guy play with the new toys. DJ Yoakley here with you, the Toyota of Warren Ysn Power Hour. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Great conversation. Great conversation with Danny Bertolini, but that isn't a surprise. It always is. Someone who believes in his team more than like most coaches at even at D1 level. You know, he's invested in his players. He's invested in the team concept, team. And I think that's what I love about him the most. The fact that he's regularly available, that he's excited, not just wants to, he's excited to talk about the guys on his roster. I mean, I'm sitting there as this conversation's happening and looking at the roster, and he's not missing many names. And he's going right off the top of it, off the cuff, right off the top of his head. So you can tell when a head baseball coach at the college level is excited about his roster. That means that he's got a lot of tools in the toolbox. And I know that he's very excited that the vast majority of that talent is from here. And you heard him talk about the Mahoning Valley as kind of the key to success. And he says it every year that he doesn't have to go far. There's 3 fields in Struthers that you can go right to. And a lot of the talent comes right to your front door. And, just like Jim Tressel did, Danny Bertolini is planting a flag in the state of Youngstown and making sure that they don't go too far away if he can help it. So thank you to Danny Bertolini for that interview. Thanks to Dre Smith and the entire Youngstown State University information department for allowing that interview to happen and continuing to allow these interviews to happen for us so we can get these interviews to you and introduce you to the players or reintroduce you to the players in many cases. A few takeaways from that interview with Danny that I wanted to go over real quick. First and foremost, I mean, we talk about this all the time. It starts in the classroom. You heard Danny say that the team has a cumulative 3.5 GPA. I mean, that's unheard of, right? But that's something they push for. They want smart guys who can understand the concepts, because it takes smart guys to be able to win. In this league, in the Horizon League, you've got to be creative, because you've got teams like Wright State that are extremely talented and are pulling and plucking from all over the country. And you've got to be able to get creative, and everybody's got to be on the same wavelength. And Danny does a great job of bringing in really intelligent guys that want to hit the books, that understand that you've got to be high IQ, right? Not only in baseball, but in the classroom if you want to succeed. Because as much as all these guys, playing D1 baseball want to be, and we talked about potential draft picks down the line, you want them to have successful careers in whatever they do. And obviously getting it done in the classroom is going to help them get it done in life. So kudos to Danny and for the entire baseball team for that matter. And to all of the potential players that, and this isn't just baseball, across the board, this is not a joke. It starts in the classroom. Coaches are looking at what your GPA is. They're looking at what, your test scores are. They're making sure that you're showing up for classes because they don't want people on their teams and recruited that aren't going to show up or just show up when it's convenient for them. So just keep that in the back of your mind, or maybe even put it in the front of your mind, that if you're not cracking the books, you're probably not going to be cracking the lineup, especially at the Division I level, let alone any of the other levels as well. The other thing is how you play the game. And I think that this goes into, ties into some of the concepts we were talking about yesterday. You talk about Travis Kelce and Andy Reid and that little run in, that rub that they had in the first half of the big game. How do you play the game? Coaches aren't going to recruit guys that are blaming their teammates for a loss or pointing the finger when things go wrong, right? It's not always the coach's fault. In fact, very rarely is it the coach's fault, especially in a game like baseball, where it's very much a one-on-one game, you versus the pitcher or the pitcher versus batter. For me, and for everybody else, for that matter, and especially Danny Bertolini, when you look at what he said, I mean, think this through. It really is how you play the game. Are you playing at 100%? Are you giving it your all every single play? Are you lollygagging it, old school term? Are you throwing up one hand to catch the ball, or are you showing off when you should be concerned with runners on base? And are you pulling up when you could be pushing for 2 or pushing for 3? Are you listening to your coaches telling you hold it 2 and not coming to 3? It's those little things. It's how you play the game. And Danny Bertolini did a great job of expressing that as well. And I'm just kind of highlighting this. Starts in the classroom. One of the things that he said about his team that really, what are you going to hang your hat on? And, the relentless ability of this team. And especially when he talked about on the base paths. And if you know anything about Coach Bertolini and this staff, it is they are always attempting to be aggressive on the base paths. And the fact that Coach is saying, hey, our practices are incredibly fun because these guys are relentless. They are fun to watch, and they are aggressive when it comes to pushing the envelope on the base pass. And that, ladies and gentlemen, gets me all juiced up because he said it, last year's team, a lot of doubles, a lot of home runs, a lot of strikeouts. You've got a pardon me. You've got a team that in order to be fun on the base paths, they have to get on those base paths, which means that we might take a hit in the home runs category, which is fine. You might take a hit in the doubles category, but you're going to get a lot of guys that are on base. So when those doubles do come through, when those home runs do sail over the fence, I think it's going to be awesome because you're going to get more runs potentially this year than you had last year. And that's going to keep you in games and obviously keep pitchers in the games as well and save some arms. And I think that's where teams, especially in the early going, can get in a lot of trouble. Is you've either got to be, save the arms so you get back, or you're going to have to go through a lot of them. And he said they've got 40 guys on this roster that they carry that, there's a lot of pitchers. There's a lot of pitchers. And I love the fact that Danny has really become accepting and embraces the utility player. You heard Chase Franken, right? You got Trey Pancake, just 2 utility players locally here. Trey Pancake, the graduate of South Range, and Chase Franken, obviously the graduate of Columbiana High School. You sit there and you go, okay, you got two local guys that can play multiple positions. Chase is a speedster. He's got power. He can go gap to gap, but he can also come in and shut what down. And then you've got Trey Pancake who can do everything. Even, to my knowledge, he's still an option to catch, which he was one of the best catchers in the country when he was in high school. But he was also a hell of a closer. And the kid's got so much talent. I can't tell you how happy I am to see him back at it. After coming off that injury, all these guys, Brandon Mikos coming off an injury, Jake Gehring coming off an injury, from last year and moving back from Ohio State back home to represent Youngstown once again. I think it's telling of which way things are going. When you've got guys like Trey and like Jake that are coming home to play baseball for YSU, it tells you a lot about not necessarily the state of Ohio State, but the state of Youngstown State. And I think I believe that. That's what I really, really want to believe. And I do. I believe that Danny's building something special here. I believe that, having these local kids either come home or stay home is incredibly important to him. And it becomes personal for a lot of these guys. Lane Rhodes, Gavin Wilms, two Salem guys. It's personal when people say that, oh, you're not that good, or Youngstown State is, we can just walk on. You hear that all the time. Oh, I'll just walk on. No. These guys are starting to take it personal because these are their scholarships. These are their opportunities. And these guys, some of them, one of them, I firmly believe is, if not more, are going to go to the next level, even beyond college. And they're going to make us as proud as they have when they won state championships, or when they, were battling on YSN, and hopefully when they win a Horizon League championship this year and go to Omaha. That's the goal. And then win the damn thing. There's a lot of people, oh my gosh, yeah, can you imagine? Listen, folks, it's not that far-fetched. And when you have the winning culture that the Youngstown State Baseball Penguins are building in that clubhouse, tell me it's far-fetched. Tell them it's far-fetched and see how they react to it. Because I will tell you that these guys are a bunch of cowboys. They are a bunch of cowboys who do not care what you think. They do not care what I think. They care about everybody in that locker room, that clubhouse, and they understand the job that is in front of them. And I really do believe this is a really good team, potentially a really good team, and maybe even a year early. That these guys can, if they can keep some of these guys, obviously if there's, a few of them drafted, good for them. I mean, you can't blame them if they decide to leave, but it wouldn't surprise me if some of them get drafted and stay, because they can improve their draft stock for next year. So I'm excited to see this team. I really am. When you look at all the great things that are happening, and then of course, Coach Bertolini drops that he and his lovely wife are expecting again. They'll have a baby boy in July. Congratulations to them. The Bertolini family, just one of the good ones. And if you ever have a chance to cross paths with Dan Bertolini or his family, just great people. You talk about Emil, his dad, just salt of the earth guy. A lot of times you'll find him at YSU chasing down foul balls, probably with a choice of a beverage at some point, but just great people, very fortunate to know them, very fortunate to run in their circles. So thank you to Dan Bertolini and the Youngstown State Baseball Penguins, and of course the Sports Information Department for allowing us to do that interview. And just a reminder, this Friday you can catch them on ESPN Plus against Texas State. You'll have to check the times for that, and obviously with some of these, I don't want to say the hell with it, with the storms rolling in across the country. And how the weather has been, you just never know if there might be a delay. So make sure you check your local listings for that. But it will be on ESPN Plus. We do have that confirmed via their schedule. I need to check in on our comment section here. Let's go to, pardon me, Sam says, I recently got a chance to talk to a coach who said that if he can't trust you to work in the classroom, then he questioned how he can, you can get the concept of the playbook or coaching. I agree with that. I agree with that. I always have agreed with that. And I wasn't, I'll sit here and tell you, I was not the smartest high school GPA wise, but I also, and this is, don't do this, kids. I put my effort into what I did in extracurriculars. I put it into, obviously, my broadcasting and internships and in baseball and all the sports that I was a part of. That's where I put my effort. And luckily for me, it didn't come back to bite me in the tail. For me, it was a scenario where there was a recognized, effort in what I was trying to do, going to Ohio Northern and then transferring to Westminster. And Trinetta Gehring says we are going to Omaha. There is no doubt. There is no doubt that the people believe we were going to fly the Y so many times this year, and I can't wait for it. Coach Bertolini said no Blazer bombs. No Blazer bombs. Blaze Glenn, long gone. Thank you for your service, Mr. Glenn. But we got Lane Rhodes. We got Jake Gehring. We got Brandon Mikos. We got Trey Pancake. We got Chase Frank. And we got guys that are familiar all over. Gavin Williams on YSN. There's people that are excited. And I know guys that have never been on your sports network that are going to love being a part of it because the electricity in some of these guys. You talk about Switka talked about during the interview. He says that Tarpley Jr. is going to be a guy that is going to be a good Quinn, a solid Quinn for years to come. And I've heard nothing but great things about this young man and the electricity that he brings. And you've got guys of all different shapes and sizes that are going to bring something to this lineup, whether it's on the bump or in the field or at the dish. And I cannot freaking wait. Cannot wait. Starting to get that feeling, guys. I got the YSU baseball hoodie on. I'm ready to go. I was getting excited for this. And you should too. You should too. You need to show up at Eastwood Field when the guys come home, and you need to support them like no other. You need to get in there and just cheer for them. Show up. Enjoy some baseball. Get some popcorn. Get some Cracker Jacks. Get some great food at Eastwood Field. We know they have it. Probably bring some coffee because it's going to be cold for a little bit. But 100%, you've got to be able to support this team. And don't complain. I'm going to go my Ron Potesta route. Don't complain about them if you're not supporting them. Fill the wood and let's go. Let's support this team. Let's send their asses to Omaha knowing that we're right on their tail. That's the way that you've got to do it. You've got to be able to support these guys and this team and the teams of this valley, right? We talk about it all the time. When these successful high school teams are moving, we've got to move with them. We've got to be able to follow and support them. I don't care what colors you're necessarily wearing. When your team is done or you've got an off night, one of the coolest scenes I saw this entire year, and I've said this before on this show, and I'll say it 100 times over, I love that this community, this area supports other teams in this area. The Ursuline Mooney game at Ursuline. I did it. I'm in the rafters, and that place was packed from pillar to post, and there was all kinds of teams represented from this area. Somehow they got a Friday night off, And I saw South Range, I saw Columbiana, I saw West Branch. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. We've got to continue that, right? I know there's a lot to do. I know that the seasons are shifting, but let me tell you that they will support you back. And that's got to be the expectation. That is the rule, not the exception. That has got to be the expectation that we set forth. So we've got to be able to support the Youngstown State University Penguins in all shapes and sizes, in all different sports, but especially in baseball, especially here on the network. Josh Scott, my guy, says no one brings the electricity like DJ Yoakley. I don't know about that. Don't know about that, but I appreciate it, my friend. And congratulations. What a season. What a season. We're going to have to get Josh Scott on. Maybe we'll have Josh on tomorrow on Valentine's Day. It's for you, Josh. It's for you, Coach. Right here. Right there. It's for you. Look, there's my face in the heart. That's your Valentine. We'll see if Coach Scott wants to bounce on, literally bounce on the program, because it's basketball and basketball's bounce. Tomorrow, I know we got some big games tonight. Chris Ziegler says we got some huge games tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on the network. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull that up. We can take a little gander at that. Hang on tight. All right, let's go to live games, ysnlive.com/live. Oh, mama, we got some games. We got a lot of games here tonight. Woo. A lot of games. All right, tonight, 5:30. And again, these times are just bear with us. You just never know. Conneaut, Ashtabula, St. John's, boys basketball. We've got wrestling on the network tonight. Liberty versus Howland. That's at 6 p.m. 6:30, Camo Memorial versus Warren JFK, boys basketball. Akron Hoban versus Ursuline. Oh, my. I was going to put this ranking out today. Maybe I'll wait. Till Wednesday or Thursday. I want to see how that transpires. Former state champions last year, Akron Hoban, taking on potentially championship contender, the Ursuline basketball Irish. We also have Badger at Poland. Oh, baby. We got some good games. Canfield at Boardman, a rivalry game. Crestview at Valley Christian. Fairport Harding at Edgewood. Grand Valley at Jefferson. Howland at Fitch. That's girls basketball, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some ladies getting at it tonight. Jackson Milton at Columbiana. Joe Eusebio's all fired up about that one. Can't wait for that call. LeBray at Lakeview. Boys basketball. Leetonia at Heartland Christian. Coach Scott in the saddle again. Lordstown against my East Palestine Bulldogs, boys basketball. Oak Glen at Lisbon, boys basketball. Salem at Beaver Local, boys hoops. South Range at Louisville, boys. And I think the rest of them are boys as well. You've got Southeast at Garrettsville Garfield. Springfield at Girard. You've got Steubenville Central Catholic at Wellsville. You've got Youngstown East at Struthers and Cheney at Cardinal Mooney. We're talking about some unbelievable games. This is going to be a great night on the network, folks. You cannot miss it. You do not want to miss it. Hoban Ursuline is going to be a battle, says Sam. And then he says, Natoli versus Moy. With the eyes. Like that. Unbelievable. I cannot wait. I have a very rare night off. I'm doing content, and I'll be looking at the scoreboard, and I'll be watching games on one of my 4 TVs here. But I'm going to keep my eye on that Poland game. Big dog of the Valley. Danny Natoli, congratulations. Also, big dog of the Valley, Chloe Dennison from West Branch. Congratulations. I mean, what a great turnout voting wise for Danny and for Chloe. The new big dogs will be released tomorrow, so we're excited for that. So please, please, please recognize and vote. I believe this is the last week for it. Yeah, it'll be week 6. That'll be the last week for it, and then we'll go split skis at the season end, which I think we take a week off, and then you finish it off, and it'll be 3 and 3 in the semis, and then 1-on-1 in the finals. So 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks total of voting, 1 more weeks of nominees, and then the champions battle it out in the elimination chamber for the Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Valley, Big Dog of the Year contest coming up here on YSN. It is now time for the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Anything commercial, residential, industrial, anything electric, all things electric, head to DickeyElectric.com. Okay, so hang on. You may have remembered, if you've tuned into this program before, you may remember what the segment that this used to be called. It used to be called What's Your Beef, presented by my good friend Greg Burbick and his farm that he no longer has. Moved along. Sponsorship gone. But it gave a great opportunity to Dickey Electric, which we always thank you very much, Eric Carlson, the entire gang over there. Could not and would not do it without you. It was called What's Your Beef? I mean, we go back a ways. I'm saying 2019? 2018? 2019. I'm going to say 2019 with What's Your Beef? Sitting around 2 days ago, Sunday, 2 days ago, and they're talking about What's Your Beef? Like it was sponsored by beef jerky, and it was What's Your Beef? Are we living in a world that I get no royalties off of that? Is that what we're doing? Like I'm convinced that I'm either a genius marketing, which I might give that one to you, or somebody saw a Ysn Power Hour somewhere along the line and said, oh, if I went to a beef jerky company, we could get some big time bucks out of them, and we could just complain and somebody's not happy upstairs. So there would be someone complaining, and we'll call it What's Your Beef? But those fellas, those handsome devils on YSN, they did it first. I'm not really mad about it. I was actually kind of flattered. I'm not going to lie to you, but I thought it was pretty cool to see it on the big stage on the NFL Network. What's Your Beef? Presented by, I'm not going to say it because they're not sponsoring us. If you want to sponsor us, we can do What's Your Beef and What's Your Spark. Double down. The world has not received enough beef and in that many sparks. So we could have like a complaint segment and a raise you up segment. What's your spark? What's your beef? I don't know. That's the best I got today. We made it. We got through. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I love you. Know that we've got some great content on the website tonight. We got great games. And we got some great announcers. Make sure that you send them some love. Just don't complain whenever something goes wrong. Be one that supports these guys and gals that are out there calling these games for us. God bless you. We appreciate you so much. So much. Have a great call out there tonight. Folks, if you're staying at home because we don't know what the weather's going to be like, kick your feet up. Turn on ysnlive.com. We appreciate it as always. We're on our way to 15 million hits this year on the website. That is the target, and I look to surpass it. I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon and your evening. God bless you. Stay warm, stay healthy, and just stay yourself. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 to 4, right here on the network. Bye.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation